400 trillion. 400 trillion. That's the odds that you were born the day you were born. Happy birthday. 1 in 400 trillion. The same odds as finding life in this grand, vast universe. If that's true, and we have over 60,000 trillion thoughts in our minds every single day, the question I have for all of you, how many of you, out of all the case scenarios that you can think of, you're thinking about the very worst scenario on a daily basis, whether you want to or not? I do this all the time. I'm by nature a very melancholic person. I'm a very choleric, melancholic person, and I tend to analyze everything I can possibly analyze. Oh, look, it's a cute puppy. And the thing is, because I have that thing, it's a defense mechanism because of everything I went through. How many of you probably do the same exact thing? You do certain things, you say things, you act and think different certain things because you're trying to defend yourself, trying to protect yourself. Yeah, you don't mean to do it to go in and harm yourself either. Yet, the question I want to know, especially even considering myself, everything I say right now is applying to myself also. How many of these worst case scenarios that you have thought of in your life has actually ever come true? I'm sure the odds are 1 out of every trillion thoughts, if you're lucky. 1 out of 400 trillion thoughts in this case, because it's not really going to come true. So the question I got for you is, if it's so easy to ponder up a difficult thought that's going to put you in a very anxious mood, nervous mood, a fear-driven mood, what work would it take for you to just do the same thing in the positive way? Like, why couldn't you do the same exact thing and think of the best case scenarios on any given basis, on any given day that you decide to choose? Wouldn't this make you feel better? Wouldn't this probably give you more direction towards what you want? Wouldn't you probably be more passionate towards what you want? Wouldn't you produce more in your employee? Wouldn't you probably be happier while you're also doing this at the same time? Is it easy? No, but it's not necessarily easy to live in an anxiety and nervous state of mind on a daily basis for something that's never going to happen anyways. So if we have 60,000 trillion thoughts in a day, well, for the case of this video, this is say 400 trillion thoughts every single day. Why are you thinking about the worst thought possible when you can think about the best thought possible? Yeah, you probably got family members that got cancer. You probably have like one of your best friends that just passed away. You probably have this, that, your dog just died. You probably have a million reasons why to think the most negative thoughts possible. But how are you supposed to reprogram your mind thinking the very worst? Look, I do this all the time. I really do. And I myself am learning how to change my mind on a daily basis. Look, I was just listening to a video right now with Tom Bilyeu and Dr. Joe Dispenza. It's all about reprogramming your mind. It's about building that habit. Our minds are conditioned to do that for millions of years just so we can defend ourselves, to protect ourselves, so we can live and survive it and hopefully thrive for another day. The question is, what makes you think you're ever going to thrive if you're thinking about the worst possible outcome that's never going to happen? It's not, right? You're never going to get the best if you're thinking about the worst. So the question I got for you today, if it takes the same amount of energy, yet you're going to feel happier to think about the best and it is to think about the worst, why not think about the best? Anytime you have that thought saying, that really, really bad thought, whatever it may be, why not just smack yourself across the head and just think about what you can have and what you do want and the best case possible scenario. Will it come true? Maybe it can, maybe not. Well, that's because of what you may believe also. But the thing is, if it's making you feel bad and there's a very, very, very insignificant chance an opportunity is actually going to happen, why not think about the best? Wouldn't that make you feel better? Wouldn't that improve your day? Wouldn't that be able to help the people around you and your environment? You become more solution oriented towards the things that you need to accomplish? Wouldn't that make you a better person overall? Because at the end of the day, if we take the advice of Nikola Tesla and we think of ideas as thoughts, energy, frequencies, in waves, you would know that the people surrounding you creates frequencies with their thoughts. They create a wave pattern. And these energies that get sent out, we feel these energies whether or not we know it or not, whether or not we want to accept it, whether or not we want them. So the question is, if this is true, and it is true because imagine back in 1997, for example, in Washington, D.C., I think there were monks. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there were monks. 2,000 monks were praying for 6 or 8 weeks on the, I guess like the garden where all the museums are at, in front of the Capitol building, that whole little area, for 6 to 8 weeks. And the crime rate in Washington, D.C. dropped significantly. And this was a time when it was the fucking hood, man. Like, this wasn't necessarily the best place to be at the time. But the crime rate dropped significantly. So what would happen if you decided, like, man, yeah, you're thinking about the worst, you're probably not in the best scenario in your life, you're probably not in the best place you want to live at, you probably have a lot of things that you want to accomplish and you haven't been able to do yet. But I gotta ask you this, what would happen if you decided to change your thoughts, and how will that help change your environment, change the people around you, and most importantly, positively impact the people who are just surrounding you at the moment? I'm not asking you for, this isn't some Christmas wish list, or just because you say, oh, I'm going to be a billionaire today, you're going to be one tomorrow. The question is about developing the habit. What can we do for society by simply thinking differently, and what can we do for everyone else just by simply acting differently? That's all I wonder.